Look really, really bad. But anyways, I was crying my heart out, today when I was doing a video that I did earlier. But I'm going to be doing a video. Um, I'm going to be releasing that video tomorrow because it's pretty long and it's a lot of megabytes. But with that being said, I saw in the spirit world that I was being energy harvested off of heavily. Um, I know you hear a lot of schizophrenic people talk about this, but really, really heavily to the point of death, not just in the astral plane, but very, very close in the physical, where I lost a lot of my timelines and all of that by Zendaya. I'm going to say this right now, man, because, I could tell it was her, and I've been connecting the dots in the spirit world to see exactly what's going on. But I'm going to say this right now. That is an evil bitch, an incredibly evil bitch. To make a long story short, my ancestors started putting in motion an attempt to put me together because I've been getting inundated by these people's entity attachments here. Ethan Ocala, Nini Ocala, Mickey Addison, again, for energy vampires, 451 hertz frequency works, as well as the Illuminati. They have been coming in, stealing my child consciousness. 1248 hertz works very, very well on them. Trying to deal with some right now in the spirit plane. This is an incredibly evil fucking curse that had me fucking crying, and I could kill Baron Samity for this motherfucking shit. I'm just going to say that right now. That's an evil motherfucker to set me up like this. And there were a bunch of fucking wetbacks too back in my old neighborhood that put this shit, but the worst of it was when I hit the PCH, putting me in a situation where I'm just supposed to be put on the curses for the rest of my life. I could kill these motherfuckers for this shit. But anyways, with the worst of them being Ethan and Nini Ocala and Mickey Addison, and there's another motherfucker too that's supposed to be related. It's a nigger that's supposed to be related to a family friend named Sidney Bartholomew. And he looks a lot like a kid who I attended elementary school with, whose name is Eddie. With that being said, I saw in the spirit world that I was being heavily energy harvested off of by Zendaya and a couple of other people through soul contracts that I never gave permission to being made. And it's, like I said in the other video, I was just crying. But it's really fucked up to get the short end of the stick for no justifiable reason at all whatsoever, except by people who are envious and want to covet your blessings and your spiritual powers. And to be treated in a degrading manner, in a hostile manner by these evil entities and people that insist that I act as a sacrifice and just let these motherfuckers take my shit, take my life, take parts of me in the astral plane, just like from what I heard was being done to Kanye West. I got wind in the spirit world that people actually went in and rescued him from the hell realms he was stuck in. And the same thing that happened to me was happening to him, where he had parts of his consciousness stolen and, body parts taken and all of that. This is some evil ass shit. Pieces of his consciousness, his brain and all of that. And just like with me, remember how they talked about how I died in my sleep on August 22nd, 2022. The same thing happened to me where just like with him, instead of being placed in the actual hell realm, he was placed in a physical body, but his consciousness was transferred to a parallel timeline where his consciousness was placed, that is, in the second dimension, as well as the lower third and the second dimension, where the hell realms are dense and it's hard to escape from. You don't want to be in those motherfuckers in the afterlife. Anyways, that's where my consciousness is and was at. In the second dimension, as well as the third. Those are hell realms. Again, for other for no justifiable reason other than to cover my shit. With that being said, just like with him, I had been getting tormented and heavily energy harvested off of, with all of my blessings and spiritual powers being transferred to Zendaya. And I saw how it was set up and everything, man. I fucking, me and my ancestors, my family, I was told many people who witnessed this shit, they cry when they see what happened to me and the disparity between these people's lives versus where I'm at and where I should be living. It kills a lot of fucking people when they see it. I'm sitting in a homeless shelter, whereas other people are profiting off. All right, I had to remove some stuff off my cell phone, but just to say what I had to say, to make a long story short, I saw in the spirit world that she had made a deal both in the spirit world with her higher self, whose name is Jessica. She's supposed to be, like, we all have entity attachments of gods and goddesses that we're under, living in our consciousnesses. She's supposed to be Hecate, the version of Hecate in her head. Her name is Jessica. She's going to try to, name, my entity attachments, my baby consciousness or something, my ancestors as her. Well, there's no wonder why I just turned off when I was about to say something important. They're going to probably try to, because they're, as part of this curse, this evil shit is like really big on deception, where they'll make your ancestors out to be them or so forth and so on. But use 925 hertz, 637 hertz, 694 hertz for discernment. They're going to try to probably fuck with those frequencies and all of that to disable that. 113,730 hertz, or you could just use, I think, 113.73 hertz or 730 hertz, 113.730 hertz, or I think it's 114.730 hertz. It's 114.730 hertz or 114.730. Or you could just remove the zero to disable their frequency if they try to come at you. As a matter of fact, one way that me and my ancestors have been getting our shit back from these people is to use 617 hertz to 614 hertz, which disables their roach attachments. That's how they're able to get from people, because their roach attachments in and of themselves are energy vampires. Use 114,730 hertz to disable their frequency. And then use 446 hertz, or it could be 1715 hertz. You can also use, here's a bunch of hertzes you could use. I feel something fucking with me right now, but 1715 hertz. There's also another hertz that's very good for getting your shit back. For these people, you also want to use teleportation, the hertz for teleportation. And I actually had that written down somewhere, where you could teleport something. I mean, this is some evil ass shit. I'm trying to think. 22, anywhere between 2213 hertz, 2217 hertz, There's also, you can write books in the astral plane. The hertz for that is 14, 15 hertz. It's like a wish frequency, but be very careful with that. Anyways, with that being said, you could use those hertz. There was another one too, man. It's going to come back to me. I'm being energy harvested off of fucking terribly right now, man. It's devastating to be fucking categorized as a sacrifice for evil ass people. I was told some of the other celebrities that's involved is Madonna. I could tell through the energy signature it's her higher self, her highest self actually, who's a major energy vampire. Um, Izek, Miraz, Mizrahi, but not as much. And there's another one. Tim Burton is a really big one. He was big on energy vampire and my consciousness, energy harvest, and that. Like I say, I mean, what even gave the Ocala's the right to sell my shit off? I never gave these people permission. I never signed a soul contract. Like I said in one video, and I'll show you the article I did a long time. They came to me in the astral plane to sign a soul contract, and I refused. What I heard in that other timeline where I died on August 22nd, 2022. That's what they do. Anyways, to make a long story short, I found out that my ancestors' spirit guide showed me that it was Zendaya that was energy harvesting off of my shit. I saw my consciousness attached to hers, hell realms, a lot. Like I said, it was very devastating. Trying to get me back my timelines. You look crazy when your consciousness is set up to where you're constantly dealing with the astral realm. But in a way, I have to be here to resolve a lot of these issues I've been facing, such as energy vampiring. But like I said, man, I want to kill that bitch. I want to kill these motherfuckers for what's been done to me. I don't, like I said in the other video, I don't deserve this. I'm getting fucked with by what they'll do is they'll create roach attachments of these people that's designed to keep you from being able to get your shit back, but constantly energy harvested off of. I've had roach attachments of Tim Burton. I've had roach attachments of Madonna, Isaac Mizrahi to an extent, and mostly Zendaya attached. The key to defeating the curses is just to go after their roach attachments. You defeat their roach attachments, the roach attachments that's in them, that's designed to take from you. From what I understand, they're from a realm called Poacher's 13, that's designed to rob people, rob them of their consciousnesses, take what's in their consciousnesses, and so forth and so on, and destroy them. And keep them stuck in a constant state where they're all fucked up in the head. Every time I try to do videos like this, I get intimidated into secrecy. I get told these people are watching and they're going to try to use ideas from your video to fuck with you even further. And it's just a fucked up ass situation all around. Really, really fucked up to be in. Like I said before, man, I didn't ask for this shit and I don't deserve it. Nobody deserves to go through this. These evil motherfuckers, like they did with me, the energy harvest off of me, will set up false soul contracts and try to delude you with it so that you're inundated with it and you're forced to fuck with them false soul contracts. The frequency to fuck that shit up is 112,000 hertz frequency, or you could use it's 112,000, or you can use 112. Those are very effective frequencies for getting rid of false bullshit soul contracts. I'm telling you that right now. With that being said, because they got some weird MK Ultra shit going on, when my ancestors, they saw in my soul consciousness that I had the soul consciousness of one of those people in me, along with Zendaya's, and they removed that so that it's made easier for me to be able to energy harvest. They do something where they can go after you, but you can't go after them or get your own shit back. They'll set themselves up as your higher self, like they did with that Alex Nacimiento entity attachment that me and my ancestors are in the process of doing something about. I got to figure out what's going on with that one, and just a whole bunch of shit going on. So anyways, I'm going to keep doing videos like this so that I can keep a high profile, in case something happens. I'm going to say it right now, man. That shit with the Illuminati got to go. 1248 hertz is the key on them motherfuckers. Peace.